Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my top 32 NFL wide receivers. Again, just want to mention two things very quickly. One, this is a pre-record, and two, this is once again a top 32. I know I just said that, but I'm not doing every starter from every team. There's going to be some teams that don't make the video, and Buffalo fans, I tried, but Shakir ain't even on here. This was a hard list. Couple of plugs before we hop right into it. Don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel, Waggle, or Prize Picks. By using my codes on G Fuel or Waggle, you'll save a discount on any of their products, and by using it at sign up on Prize Picks, you are guaranteeing yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. Reminder, NFL seasonal window predictions have opened up. But always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. So here we are at the list, everybody, and starting off right away with just the bottom, number 32, which please don't take this in a bad way. Nobody on this list is a bad receiver. If you made this list, I think it should be taken as a compliment, honestly. But coming in at 32 is Courtland Sutton from the Denver Broncos. He's big, he's physical, he's a playmaker. The guy has overpaid his dues in the NFL, being around for what, 6-7 years now, consistently and loyal to the Denver Broncos franchise. I find it hard to prioritize having him over a lot of the younger guys that are in the league and just a lot of the more elite talents, but I will recognize him as a top 32 wide receiver. On to 31, give me George Pickens. You guys know how I feel about this guy. I think he is criminally overrated, and I think he's also got one of the worst attitudes I've ever seen when it comes to a professional athlete, but I will still recognize his talent. The guy is a good receiver. He's an explosive playmaker. He's got good hands, but also he's just got to stop pushing off people so much. 30, give me Josh Downs. If you've been watching my more recent videos, you would know that I am very high on this guy. I think he is an absolute workhorse. I think his work in the NFL thus far has been very underappreciated. I think when it comes to sheer talent, out of all the receivers on that roster, he possesses the most, and I fully expect him to end this year as the wide receiver one there. 29, give me DJ Moore. I'm kind of checking out on him. I still think he's an effective receiver. He's always been a reliable target. Just last year, it was a little concerning to not only see his attitude jump downhill, but his average yards per reception, it was under 10. Never ever in his career has he been below 13. Like I said, I know it was a new quarterback, a new system, but after how they started the year with Eames, I think this guy just didn't even want to be there. 28, give me Chris Olave. He is a very good, very impactful, very speedy wide receiver. I'm actually a Chris Olave fan, but when you get hurt and miss majority of your last season, I can't keep you up ahead of a lot of the other guys on the list that, I'd probably like to. I'll always be rooting for Chris Olave. 27, give me Jameson Williams. One of the most electric and explosive receivers in the league. I think this guy only requires about 50% of his actual effort to blow right past a DB and get open. Really slow start to his career, but he's living proof that you can really turn it around as well. 26, give me Zay Flowers. Not the biggest receiver. I'm actually taller than him, and I think that he only weighs about 10 pounds more than me. So kind of a Matthew Golden scenario there, but he's also a good example of size doesn't matter, man. Zay Flowers, over 1,000 yards last year, over 70 receptions in his first 2 seasons. Can you imagine how much more he would do if they didn't give Derrick Henry 300 carries? 25, give me Jordan Addison. This could be high to some people, but I think he is one of the best route runners in the league. He just gets overshadowed by Jefferson. Kind of like Jameson Williams, the amount of effort it looks like he doesn't need in order for him to just decimate a DB in the secondary, it's laughable. He's created so many memories and came up in so many big moments for the Vikings in just 2 years that Jordan Addison is already one of my favorite receivers in football. Just wish that he would be a little bit more responsible off the field. 24, give me Jerry Jeudy. Just talked about him. I think he's severely underrated coming off of last season being by far his best season, but also being one of the best receiving seasons in the league last year. The Browns desperately needed someone to step up last year, and Jerry Jeudy not only did that, but I think he exceeded everyone's expectations over there. 1,300 yards, 13 yards of reception, 90 receptions. Fresh breath is all he needed, man. 23, give me Tank Dell. He might be one of the most talented wide receivers I have ever actually watched. If this guy could stay healthy, he would be a top 10, potentially top 5 receiver in the NFL. I know he's missed a lot of time and he's expected to miss more time this year already, but I would bet all my chips on him. The way he plays is like a receiver on Madden with an X-Factor juke ability. If he gets the ball in an open field, that guy is untouchable. Most definitely one of the most explosive receivers in the league. 22, give me Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper. Another guy kind of in a Jordan Addison or T. Higgins-ish scenario. Also the fact that Philadelphia is pretty much a run-first offense at this point, but ever since coming into the league, Devontae Smith, in my opinion, has been an above average to an elite level receiver. So quick, so reliable, so clutch. There's been just as many big plays for Devontae Smith as there has been for A.J. Brown on that offense. 21, give me T. Higgins. Well, T. Higgins is definitely in a T. Higgins scenario, you know? These guys ought to just form a union and make their own team. Seriously, the thing I love about T. Higgins, other than his reliability and hands, is his size. This guy's 6'4", he is big, he's strong, he's physical. I don't have anything negative to say. And moving on to 20, can you guys guess him? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds here, maybe 10. Looking at the trend as to who we've been talking about, just guess who number 20 is. It might shock some people that I have him above these two. But if you guess Jalen Waddle, you're absolutely right. I'm still very high on Jalen Waddle. I still think Jalen Waddle has potential to be a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Matter of fact, I think he was a top 10 receiver just what, two years ago, I think was his big year? Look, I know he's had a couple instances with him dropping passes, but he is so smooth, so flashy, so durable. This guy doesn't really miss time. Did he have a down year last season? Yes. You know who else did? Nearly every single person on the Miami Dolphins offense outside of Devon Achane. When you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a consistent game plan. When your coach is an absolute idiot and you're already competing with receptions against Tyreek Hill, what more can you do? 19, JSN. Another present receiver, another reliable receiver, another smooth receiver. I think this guy has got incredible body control. I think he's got great awareness. I'm expecting a massive year from him this year, and I think that he is going to be a very good fantasy pick. 18, give me Brandon Ayuk. He's got quite a bit to prove this year now, doesn't he? I think he has shown that he is, you know, for the most part, an elite playmaker. It's just last year, even before his injury, after his holdout, I mean, he was terrible. 25 receptions for 300 yards and 0 touchdowns. He played 7 games. Like, wake up, buddy. 17, give me Scary Terry McLaurin. He is the definition of Mr. Consistent. Last year, obviously, he had a career high in touchdowns by a considerable margin. I just don't know if I'd label him top 15 right now, and some people are gonna hate that. Some people are really gonna hate this too. 16, give me Garrett the Carrot Wilson. This man has improved every year that he has been in the league, from being the offensive rookie of the year to tacking on more receptions, more yardage, more touchdowns. Obviously, having Aaron Rodgers last year did help him, but the fact that he has been on one of the worst offenses in football for 3 years now, and he is just continuing to get better, I think that says something about how good of a receiver you are. You put him on like the Buffalo Bills, Houston Texans, Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins. This guy would be a monster in a lot of places. 15, give me DK Metcalf. Oh, these are gonna keep getting hotter. Always been a DK believer, always will be a DK believer. Not that he hasn't already proved that he is a great receiver. Every single time this guy makes a catch, which by the way, usually he's not a reception machine, but every time he does make a catch, it is impactful. The guy is enormous, he is fast, he's got hands the size of trash can lids. I mean, throwing a ball to DK Metcalf in double coverage, typically I feel like he's still got like a 70-30 advantage. Very overhated player in the league and very underrated. 14, give me Lad McConkey. Look, not only did he have just one of the quietest elite seasons ever last year, you know, almost totaling up to 1,200 yards with 7 touchdowns, but he was like insanely reliable. Out of 112 targets, he hauled in 82 of them. That's 73%. I'm not just saying this because the dude's white, but there's definitely some Cooper Kupp in him. 13, Drake London. He's a demon, man. He's always open. Another guy who I think has exceptional body control, great hands. Another guy who's just gradually getting better every single season, although his situation ain't as bad as Garrett Wilson's. 12, give me Mike Evans, and people are not gonna like that either just due to the fact that he's getting old. But he ain't gonna be the only senior citizen up here, and I still think Mike Evans is impactful as he always has been. I mean, the guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's been one of the most dominant receivers in football for 11 seasons. Matter of fact, the guy's like never had a significant injury. I don't think he's ever missed more than 3 games in a season, which is actually insane. Number 11, give me Devontae Adams. Much like Mike Evans, old but still gold in my opinion. Still making plays, still getting open. For the most part, when he's not trying to get out of your organization, he's relatively healthy. It's another guy that I really refuse to, you know, really drop down until I have a reason to. Moving on to 10, give me Nico Collins. Very electric receiver. He threw on some absolute insane performances a couple years ago. Not that he didn't last year, but I remember he had like 3 190-yard games or something. Health has been another slight concern with him, but when he is healthy, he's probably like a top 3 big playmaker in the league. You know, I'm talking in terms of they get the ball, you are gonna see some fireworks. 9, give me Tyreek. Some people are dropping him like down near the 20s after last season, which I think is just absolutely ridiculous. If Tyreek Hill was, you know, your average average Joe, okay, maybe I would be able to slide on that hill a little bit with you. But he is not your average everyday receiver. He'll go down as one of the most explosive wide receivers to ever touch the field. I think one down year, coming from an offense that didn't have, you know, a stable quarterback, people are jumping the gun on him way too quick and just assuming that he's cooked. That's not the case. 8, we have A.J. Brown, someone else that people are being very critical on after his last season, even though, you know, he won a Super Bowl. Brothers, he's one of the most complete package wide receivers I have ever seen. This guy has got everything. He has got freakish speed, freakish strength, freakish athleticism. And another thing about him, he just turned 28. He's still in his prime years, man. Don't write A.J. Brown off. Moving on to 7, we have C.D. Lamb. A man that has now logged in over 100 receptions for 3 consecutive seasons. He is a nightmare to game plan around. He is a nightmare to DBs, and he is a nightmare to his haters. You know, the people that I like to diagnose with something I call CD syndrome, they just refuse to admit he's good because he's a Dallas Cowboy. It's really weird. Don't get it twisted for a second. He's a dog. He always has been, and he probably always will be. And that'll bring us to number 6. Give me Brian Thomas Jr., my man, my fantasy champion, my golden ticket. Almost 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, just under 15 yards of reception for average as a rookie on the Jacksonville Jaguars. For a man who is 6'3", 210 pounds, he is unbelievably quick. For anybody who's afraid that Travis Hunter might take away, you know, some of his role, absolutely not. On to the top 5, starting with number 5. Give me Puka Nacua. I know he missed a lot of time last year, and this kind of goes against my code to put him up this high. I'm just super high on Puka Nacua. I most definitely believe he is a top 5 talent in football at this moment in the receiving position. I mean, not only do I think he's just an elite player, you know, in terms of getting separation, in terms of getting the ball down in bounds, in terms of being able to handle any workload out there, you know, if you need him to go have 4 receptions or 12, he's game. But the guy works really hard too, and when you're already good and you work extremely hard, well, you're gonna see some results on that, and I think it shows here. And not that the other receivers don't work hard, but I think you can just see it in every route the guy runs. He's kind of like a guy I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. 4, give me Malik Neighbors. I just can't get over how fun this guy is to watch, how electric he is to watch. He looks just like a video game character out there. It doesn't matter if the Giants are down by 25 points in the 4th quarter, he runs every single route like the Super Bowl is on the line. I think so many of his traffic catches last year would not have been caught by 90% of the other receivers in the league. This guy is just a unit. He's fast, he's physical, he can jump what appears to be 10 feet in the air. If I was starting an NFL team tomorrow and I needed a receiver and had a pick at anyone, it would cross my mind to take Malik Neighbors first. Moving on to 3, give me Amon-Ra St. Brown, another dude that is just always open. Literally, he is always open. Another extremely hard-working wide receiver, a guy that's able to handle any workload given to him. 3 straight years with over 100 receptions, 2 straight years over 110. Matter of fact, statistically, I think he's on one of the best runs in the NFL currently for a guy who started his career, what, 4 years ago? Number 2, give me Jamar Chase. Just because I gave him a better Madden rating does not mean he is my number 1 receiver in the league. He was last year, but as I always rank 1 and 2 together, I ain't taking him over Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, to me, is on pace to become the greatest wide receiver in NFL history. In just 5 years, he's accumulated 7,500 receiving yards. He's had seasons with 1,400, 1,600, 1,800. Not to mention last year in 2023, when he had 1,074 yards, he set an NFL record for achieving 1,000 yards in the least amount of games by a player at that position. I think as great of a year as Jamar Chase had last year, and with a great of a trajectory that his career is on, there's just no way I can actually take him over Justin Jefferson. When outside of the touchdowns from last year, Jefferson's already accomplished everything Jamar Chase has accomplished, other than going to the Super Bowl. Actually, I think Jamar Chase won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but there's no wrong decision. I'm just gonna stick with my guy, the guy that I've gotten to watch from his first snap to his most recent. One of the most consistent, one of the most dominant, one of the most overall talented receivers of all time, and that is Justin Jefferson. And hey, maybe after this next year, I'll have a different opinion on Jamar. Who knows what he's gonna put up now? And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for my top 32 NFL wide receivers. As always, let me know your feedback in the comment section of this video. And if you did enjoy it, please show support because I appreciate any and all help. In the meantime, I'm going to get this whipped up so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And as always, I will see you in the next upload.